Hi guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly, and we are back again to preview another Manchester United fixture once again on the channel. We're going to be previewing Man United's game against West Ham in the FA Cup 5th round, which is taking place tomorrow, 7:30 kickoff. On BBC as well, on free-to-air TV, which is always good. Means I don't have to stream it with my laptop, although I'd never suggest that I do any sort of illegal streaming. I would never suggest that sort of thing. But if you know, you know. But anyway, before we get into it, please do hit that like button. It really does go a long way helping me out. And subscribe to the channel as well if you are new around here. And also, if you're watching as a video, of course, you guys know the drill. Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section below. You know, your score prediction, anything, any of your thoughts really going into this game, because it's a big one, and in terms of confidence, in terms of getting back on track, and in my view there's no better way to get back on track than progressing in the FA Cup, getting to the quarterfinals, and then just giving ourselves a chance at silverware. That's the biggest thing for me this season. Kobe, thanks for joining already. Really appreciate you being in the live chat so soon. As I said, if you want to talk in the live chat, you know, contribute in the live chat, please do let us know your thoughts in the live chat, and I'll be reading through all of your comments. Don't worry about that. But we're going to start with West Ham in this preview, because, you know, West Ham are flying really by their standards. They're absolutely flying. David Moyes has got them playing some serious football. Serious football. They currently sit 6th in the Premier League, 39 points, only 1 point off Liverpool. If you told me at the start of the season that West Ham after 23 games would be 1 point behind Liverpool, I would have laughed so hard. I mean, I probably would still be laughing now. 39 points to Liverpool's 40. They're only actually 6 points behind us as well in the league, and I'm kind of relieved after what we saw on Saturday evening that we're not talking about any Premier League games. I'm kind of glad that we're talking about a different competition altogether. But yeah, West Ham 39 points from 23 games. You know, got them playing some superb football, David Moyes. You have to really, you know, doff your cap to him. Some brilliant football. And actually, they've got some decent players in there, and they just look a top 6 side. They really do look a top 6 side. And it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a big struggle. Goals seem to come from all over the pitch. Mainly Souček, though. Mainly Souček, and they're similar to Everton as they like the set piece. The set piece is what they thrive off. The set piece is, you know, what they use. And against us in the first time we played them in the league this season, when we won 3-1, that's how they scored. They scored from a corner, back post. Souček was there to tap it in. And, you know, our record on set pieces, I wouldn't be surprised if that sort of thing happens again. But the FA Cup, of course, as we know, is a lot different to the Premier League. There's a lot different feel to it. It showed in that game we played at Old Trafford, where we beat Liverpool 3-2 in the previous round. You know, it was completely different to the game we played at Anfield in the league. And I feel like in the league, there's a lot more to play for. I think the FA Cup has lost its shine a little bit. I feel like people don't prioritise it as much. And so you probably won't see two sides that are absolutely full strength. I think we'll play a decently strong side, but no doubt there'll be rotation for me. I think Solskjaer as well, because of the draw, he will be looking to bounce back in the league. And for that reason, especially after losing Paul Pogba, he'll want to make sure that, you know, we have a fully fit squad for that game. So I'm sure there'll be rotation. And I think, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham knocked us out. I don't want to be pessimistic, but I would not be surprised if West Ham got the job done and knocked us out, because they're a decent side. They're a very, very good side this season. We're a decent side. I mean, there's a reason why we're second in the league, of course. But, you know, West Ham this season are just a team that has been frustrating the top sides, and just looks a good side. Looks a really good side. Kobe says Antonio might be out for West Ham. Apparently, I've heard the same thing as you, Kobe. Apparently, Antonio might be out of the game against West Ham, or against us, sorry. And to be fair, he is their kind of number one striker, but I don't rate him that highly. I don't think that he's our biggest threat when Everton play. I think Thomas Souček for me is the big threat, and obviously it was the right decision when his red card got rescinded, but there's a little part of me that was like, for fuck's sake, why? Why did it have to get rescinded? Couldn't it just have waited to get rescinded before the Man United game? Couldn't they have just rescinded it on, you know, Wednesday afternoon or something? Why did they have to, you know, do it before our game, you know? But He's been brilliant for them, especially from set pieces. In terms of an actual midfielder, I'm not sure I rate his ball playing ability, but what he can do in the air, and in terms of the goals he scores, he's a little bit like a poacher. He gets on the end of it, and that's what you want. And even when he doesn't, he causes out confusion, because you get players who kind of start running towards him, he starts dragging players towards him in the box, and it can get very, very tasty, especially if a good ball comes in. And West Ham have got a knack of delivering very, very decent balls into the box. So that's something we've got to watch out for. I think Souček is the main danger for me. Dazza, thanks for joining as always. Great to hear from you. He says, good morning, lol. Dazza, thanks for joining. Make sure to check out Dazza's football stand if you haven't already. Great stuff on there. He says, don't think a red card would make a difference. The league ones don't count for the cup title, I don't think. Well, I think the FA Cup, because it's an FA competition, and because the Premier League is also an FA competition, I think if you get a red card in either competition, it carries over. So, I think in the FA Cup in this instance, if the red card wasn't overturned, then Souček would have been out for not just this FA Cup game, but 2 more Premier League games after this. So I think it would have counted. I think he would have been out of this game, and to be honest with you, for us that would have been a big plus. But listen, we can't be saying that we can't beat West Ham because one of their players is going to be playing. I mean, that's mental. It's mental talk. I mean, I'm being real. I am worried about Souček. I'm being 100% real when I say that. I feel like he's a threat. From set pieces, we've looked shocking. I would not be surprised if he gets on the end of one. I would not be surprised. He has a knack of scoring goals. I'm a little bit worried of that. I'm a little bit worried of that threat. But at the same time, we should have the team to beat them. No doubt about it. I think right now, in terms of form, we're very even in terms of, we've had ups, we both have ups and downs. West Ham come into this off the back of a 3-1 win away from home against Aston Villa. Of course, former United player Jesse Lingard scoring 2 goals on his debut for West Ham. But then they've had a few downs as well, losing to Liverpool, losing to, or just narrowly beating Crystal Palace, and then beating West Brom, beating Burnley, beating Stockport, beating Doncaster, drawing 0-0 with Fulham. They're similar to us in that, they've had good periods of form, but then interlinked with those periods of form, they've also had, games of bad play, and they've, suffered, poor results. Like that 0-0 draw against Fulham. Really, after, beating Crystal Palace and, beating West Brom and beating Aston Villa, you would not have expected them to draw 0-0 with Fulham. Yes, they got a red card in that game, of course, which was Souček, but it's one of those seasons where it's so difficult to put together a really long win streak. Pep Guardiola seems to be doing it right now with Man City. They just look absolutely unstoppable right now. But, it's so difficult to put together a really long run. And, even though we are still unbeaten in the league, apart from the Sheffield United defeat, we're pretty well unbeaten in the league mostly. It's difficult to put together a solid run of just wins. There's always going to be those dodgy results in there because the league is so topsy-turvy. Dazza says, that draw was a sucker punch on Saturday, must improve defensively. Totally agree. That point is something which we're going to look back on the end of the season and just think, if only we'd seen out that last 10 minutes, it would have been a different game. It would have been a totally different game. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, and you get punished. You get punished for switching off. You get punished for having a lack of concentration. You really, really do. Daz says, what's the best that Lingard scores against us when he couldn't even score for us? So he's crap. I mean, the good thing is that Lingard won't be able to play against us because he's loaned and technically still owned by Manchester United. So he won't be able to play against us, which I agree with you, Daz, is 100% a good thing. The fact that Lingard didn't really have the greatest of form towards the end of his United career, and he's in good form right now. If we did sell him and he was able to play in this game, I would 100% back him bagging against us. 100%. I mean, it's the way of Manchester United. It's the way. Former players always come back to haunt Manchester United. Adam, thanks for joining. He says, I'm so angry the Buccaneers won. They get Tom Brady, Ahmad Antonio Brown and they get a Super Bowl. We want to compete. We get nothing. Of course, Super Bowl was last night. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning, and I think Tom Brady won his 7th Super Bowl as well. So, fair play to him. He's a bit of a GOAT, to be fair to him. But yeah, I saw a lot of United fans, a lot of chat on Twitter about that, saying, the Glazers are winning trophies with their American side and doing naffle with Manchester United. There's a point there. Definitely a point there. And to be fair, the money that they used to buy Tom Brady probably came out a little bit of Manchester United's budget. Probably did. Owen says, brutal goal to concede at the end against the Blue Shite. Well, thanks for joining, Owen. Appreciate it. He also says, not one interview from the Glazers yet. Win a game throwing a pigskin around, they shout from the rooftops. Yeah, I know. I mean, I saw some people on Twitter saying the Glazers might do some more UK TV appearances. Fat chance of that happening. Fat chance. Dazza says, I know it's like when Coutinho scored a double and got an assist for Barca for Bayern, and he was actually a Barca player. Yeah, the good thing is about being on loan is that, in this competition, in the FA Cup, you can't play someone who is on loan. So that's the positive thing. I think, even though I do wish Lingard well as a Man United fan, technically as well, he's still at Manchester United because he's on loan. I wish him well. I wish him the best, and I want to see him flourish when he does get regular first team football. Kimberly, thanks for joining. Says, let's be honest, both our title races are over. Well, I like the positivity. I like the positivity first and foremost. But it looks likely that Man City are going to run away with it. Let's be honest. I don't think Leicester are catching them. I reckon us two were the only real hope of catching Man City. And if we can't hold on to a lead with, when time is pretty well up, we have the ball in our own half. David De Gea has the ball at his feet in the 94th minute with 4 minutes added on, and we still draw the game. There's no chance. Absolutely no chance. And then Liverpool, they just don't look at it. You just don't look at it this season. Adam says, I don't care. I want the Glazers gone. It's not impossible. Just stop buying merchandise, packing out the stadium and buying food. Stop putting money in their pocket. And that's been a lot of what the protests have been targeted at doing. Unfortunately, they haven't done too much. And, obviously people start doing the protest and then they get a little bit distracted. And then all of a sudden, it's like, you don't care about the protests anymore. So that's, obviously people have done that before. They've, bought anti-Glazer merch. They've, done marches, demonstrations. But none of it seems to be working. And to be honest with you, as long as Manchester United is making a net profit, it will stay in the hands of those American greedy bastards. It will. And it's simple as that, because that's how business works. If it's making a profit for them, they're not going to sell it. They're not going to sell it. And really, anyone who's going to buy it is going to have to cough up £5 billion or whatever it is. It's a massive sum of money to buy Manchester United Football Club. So, we need, not only do we need to sell it, we need to find someone who's actually got the money to buy it. Owen says, yours might be Kimberly, mind the gap and all that. Dazza says, today is the Bayern of the Barca 2021. See if you can work it out. That's a thinker. I'll come back to you. The Bayern month of the Barca 2021. Right, so it's the 8th of the... It's 8-2, of course. Of course, it's the 8th of the 2nd. That is good. I love that. Adam says, Arabs come save us. I'm not sure if United fans will 100% agree with that, but I guess the transfers would be better. They'd be 100% better. Dallas says, Kimberly, that just shows how crap our defence is. We always concede late goals, and that's because of our crap defensive record. I couldn't agree with you more, to be honest. So, in terms of this game, obviously we talked a little about West Ham. Their main threats obviously being Souček. I think he's the guy that everyone's going to be looking at. Set pieces as well. Set pieces for me is going to be the main thing. And the fact that it's at Old Trafford worries me a little bit. If we were going away from home, I'd actually be more confident. But because it's at Old Trafford, that does worry me a little bit. Everton obviously coming to Old Trafford, being the underdogs, not really having that much to lose. I think it could be difficult for us, but I still believe that, we can win. I think it's time to get back on track. We can use this FA Cup game as a game to get back on track, get back to winning ways, and just get that confidence back, because after you concede a 95th minute equaliser like that, it just takes a stuffing out of you. And, we don't need to have that game plunge us into a bad run of form. We need to get back to winning ways as soon as possible, and hopefully we can do that in this game tomorrow. Dazza says, You can have it. We'll happily have Virgil van Dijk and Gomez in a swap deal with Maguire and flop. Yeah, listen. For me, I just think that defensively, we're not going to win a title with that defence. I'm sorry. There is absolutely no chance we're going to win a title with that back line. Simple as that. Simple as that. I don't think any United fan would disagree. And if you do disagree, I mean, that's fair enough. But I seriously feel like if you genuinely believe that we can win a title with Maguire and Lindelof at the back, you give your head a wobble. Give your head a wobble. Football Fan 148, thanks for joining. Says Rose, your defence is no match to ours at the moment. I agree with that. Adam says, Kieran, go to Tampa and knock the Glazers out. I'm assuming they live in Tampa Bay because it's a nice place. They haven't been to a United game in 2 years, so they don't live here. Yeah, I mean, they probably fly back and forth, to be honest with you. The only time really I guarantee you, if we win the Premier League, they'll be right there front row taking all the plaudits. I mean, it's on the cards. Absolutely on the cards. But yeah, they don't live in Manchester. They fly about really, and they leave cronies like Ed Woodward and the other prat Arnold to do the talking for them and to do all the press and all the PR for them. They leave it to the cronies, and they can just sit in the background counting their cash. That's pretty well it. Owen says, if Alisson's in goal, Kimberly, you're done. I love how this streams are turning to Liverpool slander. I love it. But we'll get on to Manchester United now, and I want to ask you guys in the chat as well, and if you're watching this video, please let me know what you think in the comments. In terms of a lineup, now, you look at this game, and I know people say that we should just, kill off the FA Cup, we should just leave it in the past, say we need to get top 4 in this league, we need to prioritise top 4 in the Premier League. And I see where you're coming from. For me, it's a chance to win silverware, and because we have been starved of silverware for the last 3 seasons, it's a big game in my opinion. So for me, I feel like we should still play a decent side. I think there will be changes, and there's no problem with that. Rotation is key in terms of the longevity of a season. So I think there will be rotation, and with the players we've got, we should still be able to field a very strong side to get the result. So one player in particular, Donny van der Beek, for me, he's got to be in this team. He was in the Liverpool team, which makes you feel like he will get a run out against West Ham, which is positive. Hopefully he can prove once again to Solskjaer that he is a player that can be used in this squad, not just as a bit part player, but as someone who could potentially push for a starting place week in, week out. Because I believe against Liverpool, he was good. He didn't do anything, properly outstanding, but he had a decent performance. He was decent. So I think, Van der Beek will be looking to take his chance, and hopefully he does. But he's the main guy I'm looking at playing. Dean Henderson as well, going in goal for David De Gea. De Gea just needs a game off, man, after that absolute shocker of a game he had against Everton. 2 mistakes really costing us in that game from David De Gea. So, for me, he needs a rest. Dean Henderson has to come in. In terms of defence, I think Alex Telles will come back at left back. Shaw definitely needs a rest. He's been playing week in, week out. Playing brilliantly, but with Shaw's injury record, I think we do need to be careful. I think Bai might come back in as well if Bai is going to come back from injury. I think this is a sort of game where we give him a run out in the FA Cup. I think Maguire will start. I feel like Solskjaer always seems to start Harry Maguire. I think there's some crazy stat about Harry Maguire saying that he started like every single game this season, or he's played the most minutes out of anyone in Europe's top 5 leagues. Mental stats, absolutely mental stats. But alongside Maguire and Bai, I think it will be Wan-Bissaka. I think they'll still keep Wan-Bissaka in. In terms of midfield, I think we'll see, as I said, Donny van der Beek in there. I don't see Bruno Fernandes starting. By the way, Jamie, thanks for joining. Great to have you as always. I don't see Bruno Fernandes starting. I think, again, he'll be rested. I think we'll see Van der Beek, Matic, and I think we might see Juan Mata as well, just to get a bit of rotation. And then up front, I think we'll see Marcus Rashford starting. I think we'll see Anthony Martial starting as well. And I think we'll see Mason Greenwood. I'm going to go with Mason Greenwood. I'm going to go with Rashford, Martial and Greenwood. Daniel James potentially. Nigel Pearson has joined us. Thanks for joining, Nigel. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Good to have a former Premier League manager in the live chat with us. A few comments. Obviously, Pogba is injured, as Kimberly asked. Pogba is injured. As Dada says, Pogba is out for a few weeks. Jamie's lineup says Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Bai, Telles, Fred, Van der Beek, Greenwood, Mata, Rashford and Martial. Very similar to the lineup I've gone with, actually. Obviously, he's put in Fred in there. Martial, Greenwood and Rashford. Pretty well the same lineup, to be fair. So great minds think alike once again on that one, Jamie. Diallo, as Kimberly mentioned here, he's the guy in my thumbnail. And I just thought, maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's a slim bit of hope that we see Amad Diallo. You know, I'm hoping, I'm so hoping that we just get a little bit of a glimpse of him. I have a feeling he might be playing in the under-23s game, but I'm just hoping we get a glimpse. I'm hoping we get a glimpse of him because of what we've seen of him in the under-23s, I'm sure you guys have seen it as well. He is class. He is class, no doubt about it. Nigel says, being sacked by them bloody ostriches from Watford. That was brilliant. Adam says, guess what, congrats to Shola Sharita. Got his first professional contract, so does that mean he's a part of the squad now? Yeah, apparently he got promoted to first team training, but again, 17-year-old, he looked quality. He's got a ridiculous amount of goal involvements in like 2 or 3 games played already. He's only 17, but playing in the under-23s, he looks a prospect. He really does look a prospect. And I tell you what, the future Man United looks bright. You've got Joe Hugill, Amad Diallo, Medjbury. You got this kid as well. I'd say a lot of bright futures. And if we can nurture them properly, we could begin to have a very, very good squad in our hands. We really could. Palestri as well. He's gone out on loan, so hopefully he gets game time there and we can see him develop. So again, we've got loads of young talent coming through, and in 2 or 3 years' time, who knows, we could have a right squad of young players hungry to win us, to bring us back glory. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be like the class of '92, but I'm just saying it looks very, very good. Dan says, when I was on the radio today, someone asked me to shout out a guy called Ben Nova. Oh, Daz, that's an old one. That's the oldest trick in the book, Daz. Full Fan 148 says Michael Oliver and Michael Olise and Lucas Zhao are going to be the players that are going to get Reading promoted this season. Well, hope so for you, mate. I don't know who they are, to be honest. I don't think I've ever seen them play. But, you know, if you do support Reading, fair play to you, and hopefully for your sake they get promoted. Adam says Joe Hugill is like our own Haaland. Yeah, he's quality, man. He's absolutely quality. Dead-eye finishing in front of goal. Superb. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the first team, potentially in the Europa League if Solskjaer's brave enough. Mr. Boba Django, greetings to you, my son. He says, hopefully we see Diallo tomorrow and Wally doesn't just play his favourites. I want to see Diallo. As you guys saw in the thumbnail image, it was Amad Diallo in the thumbnail image. And I want to see it. I want to see him. Just for a little bit of a glimpse, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes. We need to get him in that first team, man. We need to get him in that first team. United Hub has joined us as well. Thanks for joining United Hub. I saw you subscribe recently, so I really do appreciate you hitting that sub button. If you guys haven't already as well, if you are new, hit that subscribe button. Closing in on 860 subscribers. He says, hi, we can't play Lindelof. He's not fit at all, and he will do his back in badly or cost us too many points. Axel isn't high confidence or fitness, and Bai is like a soldier from a movie and will get injured, so we need to sign a centre-back ASAP. Yeah, I think 100%. We're crying out for a centre-back, and we have been crying out for the centre-back for the last 2 transfer windows. But we're not going to get one. I don't think we're going to get one until at least the summer. I just don't see it. I think it's going to be... I think even if we do get one, I don't think we're going to get one of the top quality ones that we need, like a Koulibaly or a Koundé or a Upamecano type player. We're not going to get something like that. You know, we're going to get some budget player, and it is what it is. It's Man United's transfer strategy. We got absolutely done for Harry Maguire. 80 million, no way. I mean, I don't slate Harry Maguire as much as some people, but there's no way in hell he's worth £80 million. Maybe in the long run, if we do go and win silverware, we win titles, I mean, that price tag could look a lot lower and feel a lot lower. But right now, £80 million, I mean, Leicester, hook, line and sinker. Hook, line and sinker. It just makes Ollie look a bit like Gollum from The Lord of the Rings. I mean, I'm not gonna have that Ollie slander. He's the babyface assassin. Babyface assassin. I mean, Lindelof gets bullied by average players. I'm sorry, but he's barely good enough to be a backup of big Man United. Yeah, I mean, Lindelof for me recently, the annoying thing was that actually up until yesterday, he wasn't having a bad game. The last few games he played against Arsenal and Liverpool twice, and actually he looked decent. I'm not sure about you guys, but I thought he looked decent. So it's just the inconsistency of our backline. Same with Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire can look really good for a few games, and then just drop his arse in one of them. And Lindelof's the same. And you're not going to win a title if you can't have that consistent performance from not just everyone around the pitch, but from your defence in particular. Jimmy says, my mate is a Leicester fan. He said to me, thanks for the 8 million. It got them the new training ground. Well, yeah, that's exactly. They should be thanking us. If any kind of new players, if any young players come through their system in the new facilities, we should get a little payback from that, surely. United Hub says, have you seen the centre-back from Wickham called... I'm not getting outdone by that, mate. I'm not getting done by that. I'm not Robbie from AFTV. I'm not Robbie. I saw it coming. Adam says, Kieran, if we win, I'll send you a baby Yoda teddy. I don't need one of them, but you can send me some money. If you want the money for the teddy, I'll happily take that. But I don't need the Yoda teddy. But appreciate it. Phil Van Von Moray says, Reading deserve to get promoted, especially after what we've been through since the 2017-18 season. We've had some rotten seasons, and hopefully the rot ends here and now. Hopefully for you it does. LSR says, United Hub, I've seen him. What about you? I'm not falling for that either. So keep trying, because I'm not going to fall for it. I'm not an idiot. Daz says the Glazers know we need defenders, so they'll just make it worse by signing more attackers that we don't need. I think we need a winger. I think there's no doubt we need a winger. But I've lost faith with this board in terms of transfer policy. We've signed Bruno Fernandes, to be fair. That's the one that has really come off. Really come off. But apart from that, you could argue maybe Alex Telles coming in has improved Luke Shaw, but that's not really his intended purpose. I think, who else really has come in recently? Wan-Bissaka, I guess you could argue. Wan-Bissaka's been a decent signing, although recently in terms of positioning, he needs to fix up. So I think there's a few players that have come in which you could argue have been successes. Cavani as well. I mean, that's an absolute fluke. Let's not pretend that they were working on that deal for ages. I mean, that was a last-minute panic buy, but it seems to be pulling off right now. It seems to be working. We seem to look a lot better going forward with Edison Cavani in our side. And maybe that tells us something about how we need to go going forward. Maybe having Martial up front or Rashford up front isn't the one. Maybe bringing in a top-class number 9, out-and-out striker is the way to go. Adam says, Kieran, you're trying to mug a child, bruv. My dad is from Pakistan. He'll find where you live. Joking, but sorry, I don't have money. Neither do I, mate. Neither do I. I think we're all skint at this time. Kimberly says, yeah, there's quality young centre-back prospect. Right, okay. You can keep going. Keep trying it, because I ain't falling for it. Keep going. Please keep trying it. Owen says, what about moving Victor Lindelof into a back five alongside? Yep, okay. We'll move on from that. United Hub says we should sign. Right. Jamie will read that one. Jamie says, Glazers get a load of money last night. They can treat us to Sancho. Hopefully, if they haven't already spent it on yachts and stuff like that. Owen says, reckon we should get Tom Brady for throw-ins. Surely it'd be worth a few goals a season from long throws. I mean, the problem is you can't throw it like that, can you? You've got to do that. And I bet he can't throw it long with that. But it's not a bad idea. Hey, bring Rory Delap back. Maybe, he's probably at loose end right now. Bring him back. Fullfan148 says, I've seen this. Right. What about Omar Richards from Reading? I think that's a genuine one, but I haven't seen Omar Richards. So the first genuine one, I've got no idea who it is. But we're probably gonna try and get back on track with the preview. This is mad. Mr. Boba Django says, can't believe PSG and Chelsea hired Tuchel and Poch. The best in class managers are found in the elite the elite Syrian. I need to know what league that is. Is that a Dutch league? As I said, I'm butchered that, Mr. Bobber Django, but I agree with your point. Tuchel and Poch do seem to be found out at the highest level. Tuchel, for me, even though he has won trophies with PSG, the one thing that he was tasked with doing was, going to the bloody Champions League, and he didn't even win that, and he got to the final. And Poch as well hasn't won anything. I mean, he did well with the Spurs team. He built that Spurs team up from the ground and made them into title challengers. So you have to give him respect. But same time, it's I agree. I do agree with that. It's the Norwegian league. Well, of course, I agree with you then. Of course, it's the Norwegian league. Kimberly says, Brady should sign for Arsenal. Bellerin takes throw-ins like a quarterback anyway. I thought Bellerin was a fashion model. United Hub says, United signed my granddad. He's disabled, has high blood pressure and is addicted to cigarettes. Right. So my score prediction going into this game, I feel like, West Ham is going to be very, very difficult. I don't think it's going to be an easy game whatsoever. I think the first goal is crucial. I think West Ham, I don't think they're going to go with their strongest lineup. And the reason I say that is because they're going so well in the league that I doubt that they're going to want to, sacrifice anyone or, potentially risk anyone getting injured. So for me, I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Manchester United. I think it'll be a close cut thing. I think Souček is going to be the main danger, and we've got to defend set pieces. If we defend set pieces like we did the other night, we are screwed. Because Souček scores from pretty well every cross Aaron Cresswell puts in. It's mental, but it's the truth. Adam says, what about the 19-year-old Kieran... Right. United Hub says, we need to sign Dixon and... Owen says, Harry Maguire injured, apparently should go for Kimpembe, Kanate or... Right, does anyone have a prediction or anything to do with the game? Does anyone have that? I mean, we can go with the names thing. As I said, you won't catch me out. You will not catch me out. I'm too quick. Daz says, enjoyed the Al Ali Bayern game. Second half was a good battle. To be fair, a lot of people, I think, were saying that game was going to be a walkover, and it kind of was a little bit. But, Bayern Munich, fair play to them, and I think they're strong favourites to win the World Club Cup. Or the World Cup Club. Oh, give it a rest. Jamie says 2-1 win to Manchester United. I love that, Jamie. I'd say that all day long. Anything to go through to the next round of the FA Cup. Kimberly says, right. Okay, Dazza goes to a 2-1 win. Adam says, Kieran, your hair's looking good. Can I have tips? It's just grown long, mate. To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of it. To be honest with you, it's just so long and kind of it's hard to maintain. Really, it's just looks a bit. It looks a bit like I don't know. I'm not a fan of it really. I mean, it's not the worst, but I'm not. I'd rather it short. I'd much rather it short. Owen says 3-1 United. Souček to bang. Oh. Why? I can't believe you actually tried to sneak that into a score prediction. Philfan148 says, got to go, mate, to get myself ready for watching Monday Night Raw later tonight. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw with the game going to extra time and United winning 3-2. Great stream, as always. Cheers, man, and hopefully you enjoy Monday Night Raw. I remember when I used to watch wrestling and that. It's quality, to be fair to you, and don't let anyone discourage you by saying it's... Well, actually, I'm not going to say that. Mr. Bobber Django goes with 1-0 West Ham. No, Bobber Django, what are you talking about? To be fair, I can't begrudge you for that. West Ham are on a decent run of form right now. We're shit from set pieces. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if Souček, the guy that should have been banned or really shouldn't have been banned, but, it would have been nice if they waited just another day to get that red card rescinded. But... I wouldn't be surprised if Souček scores the winner. I wouldn't be surprised. Kimberly goes with 3-1 United. I like that from a Liverpool fan. Respect for Kimberly. Respect to you. Also, by the way, if you want to follow us on Twitter as well, it's at Red Devil Weekly. It's right here. So follow us on Twitter at Red Devil Weekly. It's where I tweet out when I'm going live. just general Man United tweets as well. And also, you get to see if I'm on any other channels as well. So make sure you check out them and follow me on Twitter at Red Devil Weekly if you haven't already. Adam goes with 2-1 Man United. Fan can we sign Andy Tate to play centre back? Imagine if he and Moyes have a fight. I mean, that would be box office stuff. It really, really would. Kimberly says 1-1 until the 70th minute. You'll make subs and score 2. To be fair, that's not a bad shout. That has happened in the previous few FA Cup games. So, not a bad shout, I think. Not a bad shout. But anyway, I'm probably going to end it there. Thank you for watching, guys. Really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Also, if you're watching as a video and you've got this far, thank you so much. Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I love reading your comments. I love interacting with you guys down there, so make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. But thank you very much for watching. As always, really do appreciate it. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and I will see you after the West Ham game. But thank you for watching. Check out all the channels we mentioned throughout the stream, and until then, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.